this is a weird time to be alive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting weirder too.
Yeah, it's getting weirder.
I mean, it is getting weirder, don't
It
you
is.
think?
Certainly. Well, it's highlighted on your show. You know, you've kind of exposed a lot of it to America.
Yeah, you know, every year in the summer we kind of work to reinvent ourselves about how we can tell our stories better and all that sort of thing, and we really focus on what our viewers are asking about. And I have to tell you, this year the questions really changed because you know we still deal with human functioning, you know, marriage and family and all that. But in addition to that, the questions we got over the summer this year started really changing. Like, are we going to make it? Are we going to survive?
Wow.
What are we safe? Are our kids safe? Are they safe in school? What are they being taught in school? Should we be going down there and seeing what they're teaching them? What's happening as far as values in this country? I mean, people started asking different questions, and so I changed everything. I used to have that studio audience out in the bleachers out there. I moved everybody on stage, and we're just having a focus group every day. I got like 110 people up there in a focus group, and letting them talk and ask questions because they're really concerned. And
That's really smart because that's more like a that's far more intimate. It's far more intimate when you do that. And you have people really feeling like they're going to be a part of the solution when you're doing that, if that makes any sense. So wow, I never would have thought of that. You know, it just brings everybody closer. Let's all just really have a conversation and try to figure out, because that's what's going to happen. Honestly, in order for us to build it, you talking about building a wall. Let's build a bridge. Only way we can build a bridge and try to communicate properly is taking that first step. Everyone's not going to take that first step. And I'm not talking about taking that first step to talk. All of us got something to say. That's the problem. A lot of us want to talk, but very rarely do we want to listen objectively. And I'm talking about listening objectively to a side that you might not fully understand or agree with. And then they do you the same, courtesy, listening to you speak about things that they don't particularly agree with. And then we come to, I don't know, some sort of common ground, because like he's saying, like he and Joe Rogan are saying right now, things are getting a little scary. And I can understand why people are fearful of what their children are being taught right now. I would be. Would you? Sheesh, this is nuts.
And I just said, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to start talking about the social issues along with everything else, because if you even took psychology in high school, or you took Psych 101, one of the first fundamental principles you learned was you don't reward bad behavior. Right?
Right.
You don't reward bad behavior. I mean, the world is a meritocracy. And we've somehow lost that. All of a sudden, we're paying people not to work more than they get if they work. And then we say, what happened to the supply chain? Well, you paid everybody not to work.
You paid everybody not to work, and then you give them a whole bunch of, what do you call it, guys, when you give people things for going into business and starting their own business? It's just all these privileges and rights, so that if you start your own business, we'll give you this loan and we'll give you that, and we'll allow you to write this off in your taxes. So people are pretty much, everyone's figuring out how to skirt the system. Nobody's putting the money in to fix the cities and states up, but the people who are going to work and putting in that hard work every single day. Everybody else, there's a bunch of people out that's taking extreme advantage of the system right now, because this is how they set it up. Oh, we're going to bribe you to stay on our side, and as long as we're giving you money, then you'll continue to vote this way. Well, they didn't realize that was going to come and bite them in their ass. Well, it finally did. It's biting them in their tailbone, and they don't know how to get out of it, because the subject matter just keep getting sillier and sillier and sillier. And the government are supporting anything now. As long as they have numbers, yeah, they got a mob behind them that says, yeah, we should support this. This is the new way we're going now. That's the way that they're going to move, because that means votes. Numbers that's how they look at it now. Numbers is money, money is power, and all this other crap, man.
It's what happened to the supply chain. And I'm stunned that we're running this country in so many areas where we're just violating the most fundamental psychological principles that you could ever imagine. And I'm watching that happen, and I say, I just can't be silent about this anymore. So I'm talking about it.
What do you think is the root cause of the shift?
I think it's been happening gradually, but like everything, it's like if you start rolling a rock downhill, it starts getting faster and faster and faster. And I think it's happened for a lot of reasons, but I think we've got a whole generation of kids that are really smart, by the way. These kids are smart, but I think they've started living on their devices. It's kind of like along about 2007 or 8, like it seems like airplanes flew over the country and just started dropping smartphones, and everybody's head went from here to here.
I honestly don't believe that it's the smartphones issue, to be honest with you. I think it's because of inclusivity. I think the more new people join, it's just like if you're in a class, a group, a church, a school, anything. It does not matter if you're at work. When the new people arrive and you meet them and you show yourself friendly, because that's what the Bible says do, show yourself friendly, right? Now, it does say, do not conform by the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That means be ye transformed by this world's view and start paying attention to the way God say do things. But we don't really work like that, because we want everybody to feel welcome. So if you join the group, the club, the country, come on, we gotta say it. You join the country, or you now know 2, 3, 4, 10 people who are LGBTQ community, and 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are your family members. So now the rules that you would not follow back then, before you realize you yourself have people close to you who are now you now start to accept everything. We want everyone to feel accepted. We want everyone to feel special. We want everyone. And then we start to our morals change, our rules change, and we start moving further and further and further away from God in our teachings. And that's what's happening. I don't care how many smartphones fall out of the sky. If we are still aligned with our morals and our Christian beliefs, then we're going to be fine. But if we're trying to include everyone and make sure everyone feels good, and no, don't talk about him. I know a friend who's blah. I have a family member who's this, and then it starts to go on and on and on. That's why a lot of people, you call yourselves free thinkers, or you call yourself people who are sticking to the old way, making sure that things are right the way that they were since the beginning. You all are losing a lot of your friends and a lot of family members because you're standing strong to your beliefs. People who stand strong to their beliefs, they will miss out because, bro, why you're not loose enough? Loosen up a bit. Loosen up a bit. Well, loosening up a bit will get you in hell. That's what. Even if we're not talking about the afterlife, let's talk about this life right here. It's going to get more and more and more effed up. That's what it's going to get. And we are seeing it. We're witnessing it. We're in it right now. They're teaching children about sex. That's in kindergarten and first grade. Are you freaking kidding me? You're talking about inclusivity. You have teachers teaching their children about their sex lives. Who cares? I never cared when I was younger about my dad going teachers, sex, and well, it was one teacher that was, whew, it was a couple teachers that was, they was, oh, they was nice looking.
I mean, think about it. When you look, you go anywhere, go to the mall, go just anywhere there's a group, and what do you see in their hands? You see a device. We didn't grow up with devices. When I started Dr. Phil 21 years ago, the first text hadn't been sent. There were no social media platforms. None of that stuff was going on. Technology is great. Listen, I love technology. But
He has an issue with the addiction to technology. Everything in moderation, folks. I think that's in the Bible too.
we've got generations that started living virtually. They're watching people live their lives instead of living their own lives. And that changed the metrics on everything.
Yep.
Think about that. TikTok, Instagram, all of this, you're watching other people live their lives instead of living your own. And that changed everything.
And everyone's becoming more and more depressed because they're comparing their lives to those people who they think they believe the highlights. Because everything we see on the internet is the highlights of people's lives. They don't show you all the rough and tough stuff. Nah, not at all. We're not going to show you that. For what? So I can be embarrassed? So it can go viral? I don't want my dirt to go viral. So they only show you the highlights. And we believe it. But we believe it because these people who are very successful at showing their highlights, they get rewarded. And they live a certain lifestyle that these children long for. And if they're not, see, back in the day, if we couldn't afford something, or we had to wear pants that had holes in them, or shoes with holes in them, or our big sister or big brother's hand-me-downs, or our cousins' hand-me-downs. The only people that knew about it were people who were close to us or people inside of our class. That's it. And that's as far as it will go. That's as far as the word will spread. Well, now somebody cut that daggone camera on you in class, and it's viral. Every single high school see it. Every single middle school see it all over the world. So that's a lot of pressure. And a lot of times, I want y'all to start understanding the level of pressure that these children are dealing with today. The level of pressure that they're dealing with, we could have never dealt with. I don't care how y'all put it, man. The internet is stressful. They want to be in. They want to be in the in crowd. So it's extremely stressful to them. Like back in the day, they used to say that weed was not addictive. Shit. There's so many people smoking weed now and can't. They couch stuck. They can't move. And I mean, add along the fact that it's legal many places, and some of the people called vice president, because of things that she has fought to do, is put a lot of people in jail for it. It has made jokes about herself smoking it, but we're not even gonna go there. But at the end of the day, guys, it's a lot of things have changed. But what are we going to do? We're going to adjust, right? We're going to show them the correct way to go. If we're not, we can't complain. We're going to have to take the steps to do it first. These youngins, man, it might be more of them than it is of us. So if we don't grab hold of what our future could be over, could be done. Think about that. Like the families, there's no more, and the families are not coming together like they used to. People aren't getting married as much as they used to. Having children together as families as they used to, because they see the abundance in the world. Everybody's just going and putting their seed anywhere. But glory be to Planned Parenthood. They can be as irresponsible as possible. I'm not going to go there, man.
That seems like one factor, but that wouldn't explain this abandonment of meritocracy.
Well, that is just one factor. You're exactly right. But there's something else that I think has come along with it, and we've got a generation of what I call concierge parents that are running interference for their kids. And look, the way you learn about yourself, the way you make attributions to yourself about yourself is the same way you make attributions about other people. You have people that you have opinions of, right? You got people, friends or staff, that you watch what they do and you say, he or she is a go-to person. I know what they do. I can count on them. They're going to be there every time. They're going to show up on time. They're going to get everything ready. They're going to be buttoned up. They're like clockwork, right? And you attribute that to them because you watch what they do. If they're problem solvers, you know, hey, go get Becky in here. Go get Jeff in here. They are problem solvers. You know that because you've watched them do it, and you make that attribution to them. That's the same way we learn about ourselves. You watch ourselves master certain tasks, overcome certain things. And if we're cheated out of that experience, we don't learn that about ourselves. And if you've got parents that are out there smoothing out all the bumps for you, then you don't learn that you can smooth out your own bumps. You don't learn that you can overcome obstacles. You don't learn that you can master your environment.
He is so spot on. Because all of us have gone through so much trauma that we are doing everything in our power to make sure our little babies don't face this. We're going to make sure that they don't go through anything. But without those bruises and bumps, they don't gain any character. They don't get, like, where's their integrity? They don't get any of that. They don't know how to fight through struggle. There's the weed thing again. They just turn to other vices. Weed, pills, sex, allowing people to take advantage of them in many different ways. Putting themselves out there on the internet, saying silly things, joining every single new club that starts, just believes super levels of gullibility. Is gullibility a word? Gullibility. No, I don't think that's a word. Now I gotta do my Googles. I gotta do my daggone Googles.
And so as a result, you don't have the self-esteem. You don't have the self-worth. You don't make the attributions that, hey, I can do this shit.
Okay, dropping the sugar honey iced tea bomb. I see you, boy.
And when you don't believe you can do this shit, then
you dropped it again.
You start saying, well, I don't want a meritocracy. I want everybody to just kind of go along the same. And so we started seeing in the universities, you start seeing kids that are complaining that something the professor said hurt their feelings. It upset them. So they start going to the dean. They start going to the department head and saying, that professor said things that upset me.
I was about to do the same thing, big dog.
And we've had more professors disciplined, suspended, or dismissed in the last 10 or 15 years than we've had since McCarthyism. Because kids are going in there and saying, that hurt my feelings. He offended me and said things that were offensive. And so they complain about it, and they get listened to, and so the professors, and some of them are assholes, I'm sure. Some of them are offensive.
As they should be. They're teachers.
By any standard. But it's out of control. And these kids are sensitive to the point when I was in college, when campuses were where you went to hear the other side, right?
As you saw, my main man, Dr. Phil, was breaking it down for our guy, Joe Rogan. Now, I think he was a little slow with it. He probably was, I don't know if he was a little, catching some of that secondhand burn that was coming from the other side of the table. But I will say this: he was spot on. He was spot on. He was taking his time with it, but he was spot on. It's just a whole lot we got to get in order, man. It's a whole lot we got to get in order. We just need to. This right here is positive. The talking about it is positive. Him pulling everyone from the stands and putting them onto the stage so they can be a part of the conversation, more intimate conversation. That right there, it does things. Joe Rogan having him on the show and talking to him about real stuff like this, it helps. It really does. In my humble opinion, I really believe it does help. Now, I might be a little naive by believing that it helps because it's but conversation. That's all it is. But at the end of the day, I will say this. Freedom of speech is extremely important. And as long as the powers that be continue to allow people to be punished for simply exercising their right, that's going to continue to be make the problems worse and worse. So I don't care how many people complain that their feelings was hurt. We hired this professor for a reason. We hired this teacher for a reason. Now, if what they're saying now, if a child is coming back and saying that I was offended because my teacher was trying to teach me about sex in kindergarten, hell yeah, let's listen to that. But if you're a college student and your feelings are getting hurt, I'm sorry, but kick rocks with socks on. Matter of fact, take your socks off and go kick some rocks. Get out my daggone face. Let me see your head get small. That's what one of the parents said at my daughter's homecoming football game. She was talking to her daughters and she said no to them. And she said, let me see your head get small. And she was just saying, leave, go somewhere. When you walk away, you get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. You know what I mean? The further away you go. But that's how it should be. At some point, we need to stop being some damn suckers, man. As parents, we are suckers. As citizens, we are suckers. Everything touches our heart. Our hearts never won any wars. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments below. If you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I am Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing per usual. And before y'all go, please do me a favor and check out BlueMonsterPrep.com, okay? Make sure you and your family are prepared. First aid kits, food, water, mask, everything. If you need a generator in your house, just in case your power goes out or something, make sure you put in LFR as the promo code and you will get free shipping everywhere in this country, okay? All right. And make sure you tell Patrick and Gina that I sent you. They are amazing. And no, I'm not trying to sell you anything. What I'm trying to do is help you and your family be protected in the event of something happening that we didn't plan for. I just want to make sure that we plan for things. That's it. Because the only way things will get better is if we make them better. All right. I'll see y'all next time. Love y'all.